So if you
All right, welcome back to the Edge Podcast with Chip and Christy. I am Chip McCarter, the host, and along with me, as always, the beautiful Christy Ogle. And we come every week. We talk about handyman business fundamentals. We talk about the Edge biz with networking and business, being an entrepreneur, being a problem solver for your business. And we try to give advice and help people along the way on their journey. One of the biggest things that we believe is not everybody should have to go through the same failures when they start their business. So we like to give people secrets and things that most business owners don't like to share with new business owners. So you can learn how to avoid the common mistakes made by all these entrepreneurs. Today, this week, we're going to talk about the 5 great handyman lessons in life. And of course, there's going to be more than 5, but we have 5 amazing handyman lessons to be learned and how to handle certain situations and run your business. Christy, what's number 1?
use your friends carefully. And Chip, you and I have both had the wrong set of friends in business before and life. And it set us back. I don't know if it was months or years or what, but you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. Thank you, Jim Rohn. But it's so true. If you hang around with losers, guess who the next loser is?
Yeah, you are who you hang out with. As a kid, especially a high school student, I hated hearing that. Oh no, I'm not who I hang out with. I am my own personal self. But you're always lumped in. And not only are you lumped in with the people you hang out with, you start like picking up the bad habits that they have, the good habits that they have. You rub off on them and they rub off on you. That's why you should choose to hang out with people that are either on your level or above your level. You should never and I hate saying never. You can always hang out with whoever you want to. But if you want to get better, hanging out with people that are not better than you, you'll never get there. You have to push yourself to get out of your comfort zone and start hanging out with the people that are successful, the people that are already doing it, or on the way to it. The mindset's one of the biggest things. So you just want to make sure the people you're hanging out with have the correct mindset when it comes to business.
Yeah, to improve your overall business, you want to surround yourself with people you want to be like. So a lot of people, when they get into business, especially the handyman business, they look at other handyman businesses as the competition. Actually, so those are your people. Chip owns a handyman business. I own another handyman business, and we're in the same town. We could look at each other like we're competitors and fight with each other, but instead we collaborated and we came up with something that's beautiful with handyman business fundamentals, the edge, all the different things that we're doing. So if you want to improve your overall business, hang out with people you want to be like. Now, in the beginning of my business, I didn't know anybody else in business, construction or trades, especially women in trades. That's really rare to find.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually joined a business networking group. It was called Business Networking International. A lot of people know it as BNI. And those people taught me a certain level of knowledge when it came to trades. I met the first electrical, Mr. Electric in the country, Donna Molman with BNI. I met Heath Talbert with Talbert Roofing, and they taught me a lot. But I outgrew that group very, very quickly. And I learned that if I kept playing at the same level that they were, I would never grow my business. So I had to make a conscious point to leave that group and put myself in a group of people that were actually growing and building their businesses instead of just being stagnant. When you outgrow a mentor or people in your group, you can't be the smartest person in the room. You need to leave the group and find another one so that you can learn. It's so important for you to be able to expand your mind. And if you're stuck with people that have always done it this way and they've only gone to this level, it's going to be very difficult for you to grow as a handyman business. I mean, look around you. The 5 people that you hang out with most, put their names on one side of a column on a piece of paper, and then on the other side of the column, put how much they earn. Add them up and then divide them by 5. That income is usually what's coming into you. So if you're hanging out with a bunch of broke handyman that are a guy in the truck from down the street, Bubba in the truck from down the street, and he's a hillbilly, and he charges $10 an hour, and he works about 20 hours a week. Not what you want to do if you're on a podcast with Chip and Christy, because we're always talking 6 and 7 figures. I'm not saying dump Bubba.
Yeah, don't burn your bridges.
Limit your time with Bubba and find a new mentor, find a new group of friends, because if you hang around with a bunch of people that are bitching and complaining, you're the 6th one that's bitching and complaining.
It's super easy to, you don't even realize it until it's too late that you're just already involved in it. It's choosing your friends is a major part. Like you don't need to do it lightly. You need to definitely focus on, are they a good fit for what you want, where you're moving and growing in life? Are they growing in the same direction? I mean, it's almost the same thing with relationship advice. If you're going in 2 separate directions, it is super hard, even if you love each other, to stay together, because you have to be moving in the same direction to click, to get along. Number 2, and we have talked about this numerous times already this year, write your plans down. Bring it into 3-dimensional or 2-dimensional, bring it into this world, write it and make it real. That's when you can actually start visualizing it after you write it down. But make goals, write them down. Heck, write down like crazy thoughts you've had that might help your business. I have thoughts all the time that I'm like, oh man, that's a great idea. If I don't write it down or text somebody or bring it to life, if I don't put it down on paper or on my phone or on my computer, it's never going to happen. I'm going to forget about it. And then when I try to remember, I won't have the same exact idea. It'll be like a cheaper version of it,
Make yourself a roadmap. If you don't design a business plan, chances are you're going to fall into somebody else's plan. So, which is, what do they have planned for you? Not much.
Yeah,
so,
if at all.
And write it down. Last night's a perfect example. I get the best ideas about that hour before I go to bed. And last night I was thinking about one of Chip and I's businesses, and I said to my husband, I said, you know what? I know who our target niche market is. And I told him, and he's like, that's a great idea. And I didn't want to text Chip at 10:30 at night. So I just sent myself an email like, and so you have to write it down, a 3-month plan, a 6-month plan, a 5-year plan. You have to focus on the big vision. People overestimate what they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can do in a decade. So write down your plans. If you don't plan out your life, somebody else will, and you're not included in their plans. And remember this, Chip, you and I were talking about this earlier. Distractions always happen. Life continues to happen. I think Chip called it earlier Murphy's Law or something.
Yeah, I had a Murphy's Law week for sure.
Yeah, you're going to have to deal with distractions from the outside world as well as your inside world. Some days you're really not going to accomplish much at all, but when you have your written plans, your roadmap in front of you, it's easier to take action. Kind of like me, out of the corner of my eye while I'm talking, I can see my roadmap, and I know as soon as I get off of this podcast what goals I need to work on, and what actions I need to take, no matter what's going on outside, which it's freezing, right? Everybody, 70% of America is frozen right now. Thank you. And got to take action no matter what. With this written plan, you make better decisions. You've got this definite plan to success that's written for you, and you go after by taking action, which should you say it best.
For sure. Always take that imperfect action. Don't wait until everything's perfect, or you probably will never even take the action. Number 3, have healthy habits. Goodness gracious, man, I've had the worst. And breaking habits are so hard. Man, once you start a bad habit, getting rid of it is one of the hardest things in the world to do. That's why creating healthy habits is so important.
Yeah, we all must suffer through two things in life: the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Thank you, Jim R. Every big success takes these small habits. You are rewarded in public for what you do in private. So, success for good habits. If you wanted to lose weight, you have to eat less and move more, right? You
Yep.
can't just go out there and eat and then like walk around and hope it comes up. If you want to wake up an hour earlier, you have to put inside that habit, which if you can change your morning routine, you can
Yeah, for sure. Because that morning routine is the habit that naturally forms itself.
yeah, it's not easy. It's not, it's to acquire new habits, it takes that discipline and consistency. And after a period of time, 6 weeks, 6 months, that habit will become natural and it'll
Yeah,
just come to you. Like I wake up every morning for the last 5 or 6 years, even though I hate to work out, and I'll work out with my trainer, Jenny. I hate her, but it's a habit. Like my day's not complete unless I'm, looking off Jenny in the camera.
for sure. And that actually working out first thing in the morning always makes for a better day because you've already been active. I mean, I stopped doing it a couple of years ago and I've regretted it. I need to get back into that same thing. But your morning ritual is a habit that you don't even realize is a habit because everybody has their small little ticks that they do when they wake up. Christy, what's number 4?
Say one more thing.
Yeah.
It's a journey that 6 months, that 12 months, that 10 years down the line. That's a long period of time. And business is freaking hard. It's going to kick your teeth in sometimes. So you've got to be healthy enough to jump back up and keep going. And plus, what you do in your daily lives affects your mind, your body, your spirit. And those all have to be at the highest levels when building a 7-figure handyman business. You can't be lethargic with no energy and build a gigantic handyman empire. It just doesn't happen. So if you want the best in life, you have to put this discipline into your life and have these healthy habits.
For sure. I mean, the discipline itself is tough as it is. You just have to buckle down and do it. And it's really nothing else to it. You just have to start creating healthy habits, and then like Christy said, it becomes second nature. It just becomes a thing that naturally happens. It's no longer something you have to focus on once you've created the habit successfully. And I think it takes like 30 days to create a habit and 4 months to get rid of it, if I'm not mistaken. If I think that's pretty accurate. Number 4, ask the question.
Ask yourself, is there more to life than this?
Yeah.
99.9% of handyman businesses never ask themselves that. They go into business and usually they get this low hanging fruit, and that's a good wage. Like the average handyman in business makes about $36,000 a year. To me, that's poverty level because I have a higher level that I'm accustomed to. But ask yourself, is there more? Jim Rohn said it best that profits are better than wages. Wages make a living, profits make you a fortune.
For sure. And this is like the people that never leave their hometown, that just find their comfort and stay in it and don't want to do anything else, make their life better. That's why asking yourself this question is so important, because if you're unhappy with your lot in life right now, then obviously there's going to be more to life for you. You just have to ask the question and figure out what you need to do. But sitting around and letting everything run stagnant and not, oh, well, I'll just let life kind of let me happen and I'll go with the flow. That, you're not ever going to grow that way. You might luck up on a couple different things, but ultimately to grow, you have to ask yourself this question and then truly find the answers that you want.
In Waco, there's this guy that Clifton Robinson.
Mhm.
He taught me this lesson probably about 4 or 5 years ago, but I didn't understand it back then. Now I get it. Like he started an insurance company. It's in the Lions building downtown, and
Yeah.
the insurance company was his profits. But he also bought up real estate,
Yeah.
almost all of downtown Robinson Tower. I'm sure
The Clifton Robinson, it's called the Clifton Robinson Tower. Yeah.
I didn't know who he was when I met with him. So he said this, that profits are better than wages. Wages make a living, profits make you a fortune. His living was built on real estate, so buying and selling downtown real estate. But he held on to a lot of that downtown real estate until Chip and Joanna Gaines came around. But
Yeah.
he made his fortune was in that insurance company. And he said, Christy, I never took money out of my insurance company. I just kept putting it back in. He
Yeah.
had it for like 40 or 50 years because Clifton, he's well into his 80s. And about 10, 15 years ago, sold his insurance company for about $10 million. Then he reacquired it because it was a banker that got it. He said, bankers can't run insurance companies. They tanked the insurance company. So he acquired it back. He rebuilt it, and then he sold it for $25 million.
35 million, one business.
His fortune was in the insurance business, but he made his living on the real estate. But he did hold on to some of that real estate, and I guarantee it is.
Oh, I'm sure. The Clifton Robinson Tower in itself is making, it's got a bank in it, tons of big businesses. I mean, it's right by Baylor. Yeah, he definitely killed it and made plenty of profit in the real estate niche also. Yeah.
So that's where I learned, like, is there more to life? Once a mind is expanded, it can never go back. So those of you that know you want that 7-figure handyman business, you're never going to not know that it's not possible to have a 7-figure handyman business. So start looking for change, regardless. If you're a solo handyman now and you want to build a handyman empire, you've got to change what you're doing. So you know that there's something more in life. And Chip and I, in coaching handymen, we talk to them all the time about their businesses, and they're like, well, we do everything, right? No, you have to niche it down. What's your most profitable job? And do you have a residual income built into your business? All handyman businesses don't really have a 99% of them don't have a residual income built into their business. And so they're always chasing the job. So find out what you're passionate about, follow it for profit, and always ask, is there more to life than what I'm currently doing? Because there's so much potential in being a handyman and making those profits for the future.
100%. 100%. And this last one runs hand in hand with all of them. But number 5 is learn, and then learn some more. Always be open for new knowledge. Always be searching for new knowledge. Don't ever just think that you know it all. Because the minute you start thinking that is the minute that that life is going to hit you upside the head.
Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better.
Yeah.
Don't wish for problems. Wish for skill. Don't wish for less challenges. Wish for more wisdom, more knowledge.
Yeah.
100%. Start living. Start learning. Problems are always going to be present in the handyman business. I'm going to tell you guys, I've got systems. We've got a profitable business. We've got several. But there's always issues. There's always problems. I was talking to Chip right before the podcast today, stuff that happened. If you don't have any problems, you're dead.
Yeah. Or you're just completely oblivious to life. You know, one of the two. But there's always more to learn, man. This goes with every aspect of life, religion, education, business, all of it. You should always be like a sponge, just ready to soak up new knowledge, and look for it too, though. Don't wait for it to come to you. My dad is one of my biggest inspirations when it comes to this, because when it comes to religion, that man never stops searching for truth. And don't get me wrong, it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. But in the fact that I know his intentions are good, and he's doing the right thing. I mean, in all honesty, you should never stop learning and looking for truth. But yeah, I mean, it's something you should always do, is always be willing and open-minded to new things, because it's the closed-minded people that life hits the hardest.
Yeah, but new knowledge comes with new problems. Find a great mentor to help you be a better version of yourself in your handyman business. Because remember, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Why not hook up with somebody like a Clifton Robinson that can take you to the next level? And that man gave me the best 2 books in the world, Chip. He gave me Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and How to Win Friends and Influence People. And he took an hour out of his busy life. Actually, it was 2 hours out of his busy life.
Nice.
A couple other masterminds. And what I learned from him has been
Invaluable. Yeah. That's it. And the great thing about that is Clifton can also learn from you. Just because, and I guarantee you, he's open-minded and listens to everybody, because that's what you have to do. You have to be willing to, you can't just shut down when you're talking to somebody. You can't make the judgment, this guy has nothing to offer, or this woman has nothing to offer. Everybody has something to offer. You just got to find it. You got to reach in and search for it. And man, always, always, always be learning. That's one of the best things that anybody's ever told me. And I used to buck it and go against it so hard, but you should always be open-minded and willing to learn more.
Exactly. You have to become that better version of yourself.
100%. Christy, anything else before we sign off this week?
Guys, if you're really interested in taking your handyman business to the next level, message Chip and I, give us a call, email us at handymanbizfundamentals@gmail.com. We would love to talk to you about taking your business to the next level and growing it by 107% in the next 90 days. So definitely reach out to us, call us, email us, Facebook message us. I mean, they can call us every different way, right, Chip?
Oh yeah, we have tons of different ways to reach us. Facebook's the easiest, obviously, but you can find us on different platforms. And also, if you're interested in opening a handyman business as well, we actually have something for that. So whether you want to scale your business that's already existing, or you want to break away and become your own boss, reach out to us, give us a call, email, text, whatever, and we can get you started, and you can start actually working on achieving your goals in life.
Yeah, and this works for more than handyman businesses. We've worked with contractors, we've worked with roofers, we've worked with painters, we've worked with CBD companies, we've worked with theaters, we've worked with sup businesses. Like, we've worked with all kinds of businesses. But Chip and I just chose to specifically talk about handyman because we see so many people just getting by. And there is more to life in handyman business if you apply yourself and take that imperfect.
100%. All right, guys. Well, for now, this has been the Edge Podcast with Chip and Christy. We love you. Stay safe, especially in this ice.